Okay guys, we're gonna start. Little guy will be out here in a minute. Just cleared off the bench. I'm not putting the laminate down now. We're gonna take the tranny, put it up here, pull the valve body off, get rid of the tranny again. This is what we're using. We are gonna use the guide from B&M. We are gonna use the automatic transmission guide. And that's pretty much the materials we're gonna be using. Fortunately, the pictures in here are horrendous. Some you could see, some get difficult. The only thing I care about is actually the valve body modifications. You can't find that anywhere else. Sifting through the tools. People talk about their favorite tool. Spring's long gone on this. I could say safely that this tool put the down payment down on this house. And made many payments on the house in the good old days. So, just wanted to pass the snap ring pliers that I used. Okay, I got this box out here. I just want to grab I have another tranny pan in there. I want to take it out so I can put the valve body in it, so I can put this pan back on. And we'll get working. Okay, here's a modification you could do if you choose. I still don't think we're going to do it, but we'll see how things go. And I'll explain as time goes on. This is the front drum. Both the same part. Okay, there's a used one. There's actually a brand new one. If you look inside, you can see where that snap ring is machined. And you can see where that snap ring is machined. This one is machined higher. And because it's machined higher, you get 5 clutches and steels in here. With this one machined lower, stock clutches, you can get 3 in there. I'm pretty sure aftermarket you can get 4. That's to be determined. When I did my unit, I went right for the 5. Okay, this was actually the one I ordered. And this one came to me. It's actually a brand new part. And when you do enough trannies, the first thing you do is you look your stuff over. And I looked it over and I found right there. See the line? That little scratch? Now, can that be machined off? Maybe. I'm going to tell you right now, that's where the lip seal rides. Which is this seal right here, actually. I mean, the piston's not in there, but that's exactly how it rides. It's a little shrunken down and cold now. But, that would probably work a half a dozen times before it put a rip in the seal. Now these are just lip seals. Okay, obviously the lip goes down, so when you apply pressure to it, it presses out. With that, I contacted the manufacturer and they sent me a second drum. They said, keep this one. I really don't have a use for it. This is the factory one, like I said. And that's basically the only difference to the two of them. Now, you could send this one out and have a second groove put in there. Okay, you don't have to have one groove. You can have a second groove. It doesn't affect anything. But we'll see how it goes when we get this unit apart and I start stacking clutches in it. I saved this because it's actually a good piece. And there's no reason to get rid of it. So I just figured I'd show you guys that while I'm digging through to get my pan, which is down in there. And here are all the old parts that I saved from my tranny. There's that stock lever we're going to change out to a 5-to-1. Some clutches, some steels. Got your 2 bands here. Okay. You're looking here quick. You got a filter, you got a tail shaft seal, you got that strut. Accumulator springs. Why'd you get me the world's longest extension? I don't know. Maybe that's what I was grabbing when you were complaining. Yeah. Merry Christmas. There's a load of clutch material on this bad boy. Something failed. Guaranteed one of the bands let loose. I guess we're gonna know shortly. Yep. I'm wondering if there's any material in the back pan at all. Okay, that's definitely clutch/band material that we have here. It's definitely friction material. And that's all that's throughout here. There's not even any sludge. You got your normal debris in the pan. The rest of the unit looks clean. Me and Junior just air checked it. Then we popped the pans off. We popped the struts off. Everything's air checking well. So we'll find out when we open it up which clutch material gave it up. Something did. We were able to look at these bands. These bands look intact, unless the bottom sides of them all flaked apart, but I don't think so. We're able to see both bands, both the drums where they ride. This one I can't get past it now. But there's absolutely no bluing, no grooves. There's no nothing. So, like I said, there's no burnt fluid. So I guess we're going to find out. Both the accumulators seem to be both the servos seem to be working well. And I guess we'll know in a couple days what that's all about. We were looking at the filter. The filter's freaking clogged. Clutch material. Especially on this side, but not as much on that side. I know that the separator plate blocks a little bit, but not enough for where this is. And that goes to in the back here. So whatever would come back and land in that area is what the problem is. So, not a problem. I'm not going to have a hard time finding it and figuring it out. I do want to get an end plate measurement on this before we take it apart. And like I said, we have a couple of days with that. Let's get the valve body knocked out, and we'll move on from there. So, I don't see this. This is going to be uneventful. Okay. So there she is in her glory. I'm beginning to wonder if this tranny was ever taken apart before, and the reason I say it is the amount of grease that was around all the shafts that me and Junior had to chisel off, even though the top of the unit was clean. And it's still got ink marks on it from when they built the valve body. So I'm beginning to wonder if this unit was ever apart, why it came out of the car, what happened to the car. You know, if it was one of those cars that was parked 20 years ago, who knows? I don't know. The guy I got it from doesn't know. But like I said, nothing's burnt inside, and the fluid was clean. So just because the clutch let loose doesn't really mean much of anything. Like I said, I think this is going to be an uneventful rebuild. So tomorrow all this comes off the bench. We'll put the piece of laminate on here so we have a nice surface to work on, and it'll be valve body time. This is not the pan that was on this car. That's the pan from my wagon. So that's the pan that's going to go on this, and either we're going to change it out for a nice deep one, or we're going to leave that on there for now and then put a deep one on a little later on. See how the budget goes. Got a lot of stuff to buy. You never know, maybe I'll find one. But yeah, Junior went in. It's late. It's been a long day. So we were going to start this tomorrow morning, but we figured we'd get a jump on this real quick, so then we can just come out here and actually just work on the valve body, period. As its own project. Tranny off the bench, everything gone, good to go. And Junior wasn't in the filming mood tonight, so I really didn't film much good. And I guess that's going to be it. I was going over some of the valves. I'll go over the valves as we go along. I don't know all the valves. I'll refresh myself as we go along. But I did explain to him the throttle valve that everybody calls a kickdown valve, which is not a kickdown valve. And I explained to him how that worked. And that took him a couple of minutes to grasp. But I think he started to grasp it. It's right here. That's the valve that comes in and out as you accelerate or you hit the throttle. It's called the throttle valve. Not like on a GM where you punch it to the floor and it pulls that cable and does it. This actually controls where your shifts are by how much throttle you're giving it. The more throttle you give it, the more pressure comes out, the more pressure the governor has to overcome. And it's a constant battle back and forth. And I explained that all to him. So, that's it guys, I'm rambling, I'm tired. I think I sniffed a little too much carburetor cleaner. So, let's call it a night. Oh, by the way, the compressor did work mint. I just used it to air check this. And I will say, it was taking a very long time to fill and I couldn't figure out why. I only had one compressor turned on and I didn't have my bypass valve over. So I was filling both tanks. So, besides that, everything was mint.